We have PB 2015-07, school number 8, temporary trailer for temporary boilers, and PB 2015-08, middle school, temporary trailer for temporary boilers.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Germano Rubino, G-E-R-M-A-N-O-R-U-B-I-N-O, and I am the principal with the firm of Carroll Rubino Architects in Wayne. We are currently serving as the architect of record for the Belleville Public School District. The district is undergoing a capital improvement project, and at the end of the summer, we do have representatives of the board who can get into further detail. But basically, the boilers at school number 8 in the middle school were not approved by the state. It was recommended that those boilers be replaced. In fact, there were some boilers that they wanted to be able to fire up. Based on the timing, to put a project like that out to bid, receive bids, get the boilers is about a 6 to 7 month process. So that would put the board well past the winter time. So at this time, what the board is going to be doing is putting temporary boilers at the 2 schools to get it through the winter. And at the same time, we're bidding for the permanent boilers. So what will happen is we'll take that bid, go through the shop drawing phase, order the boilers. The boilers will probably come in most likely March, April, and then the boilers would be installed during the summer of 2016. The plans for that was submitted to the building department. We were asked by the building department to come before this board as a cursory review. And that's what we're here for. It's not a site plan hearing, it's not a public hearing. As you know, as a planning board, you do get the right to the courtesy review for any expansion of any building. And then the other 2 requirements by the state of New Jersey is either a ground-mounted photovoltaic system or athletic site lighting. We don't fall into any of those categories. But we are here, we will present the plan, answer any questions. Quite frankly, we are on a time-sensitive track. These temporaries have to be put in by the end of next week. The contractor has submitted for permits. This is one of the things that the building department has asked us to do before those permits are released. With me is Jake Senchak. Jake is the project manager in my office. He's in charge of putting the plans together. He'll take you through the plans, what the proposals are, and then we'll answer any questions you may have.
Please raise your right hand. So do you swear to tell the truth and what you can help you to help you out?
I do.
State your name and address.
Jacob, J-A-K-O-B, Senchak, S-E-N-T-S-C-H-A-K, Roman numeral number 2 the second. My address is 1580 Mountaintop Road, and it's in Bridgewater, New Jersey. I'm going to put up the exhibits, and I'll start out with school number 8 first, and then I'll go to the middle school, because school number 8 site is a little more easy to understand. The first exhibit I have is essentially a satellite view of the 2 school sites. School number 8 is here. Sure. School number 8 is on the left, and the middle school is on the right. School number 8, the building's main principal entrance is not on the street. It's on its own separate drive lane coming in off of Union Avenue. And where we intend to put the temporary boiler is off to the right, which is closest to New Street, of the main entrance. The reason for putting the temporary boiler there is it's basically a 40-foot, 45-foot long tractor trailer box with a boiler and some other equipment in it. And if we place it in that particular location, it still allows the school to use the drive lane that goes all the way around the building. There's an ingress and egress to the site. It still allows for the staff to use the parking spaces, and it still allows for drop-off and pickup of school children throughout the day. And with the boiler here, it's off-site, furthest away from the street, And there's a very tall retaining wall along New Street, so it won't be seen very easily also from the residents on that side of the street. So what ends up happening with the trailer here is that some pipes will be coming out of the trailer and then going into the building. And the boiler room is right on the corner of the building here, and its ceiling is essentially at head height, around 5 to 6 feet, because the boiler is deep in the building. And so the existing piping that's there going throughout the building and is connected to the current boiler is going to be extended outside the building through where the existing door opening for the boiler room is to go into the trailer and then service the school. And then on the middle school site, what happens here is the boiler room is right along, I forget the name of this street here. Holmes, that's right. It's Holmes, correct. Holmes Street. The boiler room is in the basement of the front addition that was done in the building in 1934. And the only place that we can put the boiler, well, there were several locations that we looked at. One was the current location that's shown on this plan. Another one was further on down the hill, something along Washington, and then something along the parking lot area at the opposite side of the building. The complexities that happen there is that the piping runs get so long in order to get to where the temporary boiler is that there's a lot of check valves and a lot of other complications that come into the mix, and a lot of additional expense. So save it to say that the best location on the site was here along Holmes, and it happens to fall in between the ingress-egress of the 1934 edition and the ingress-egress of the 1916 edition. Now, the site over there is sloped, and what we have out on the documents that the general contractor, who was the low bid contractor, was selected to do and understands is that the trailer needs to be level in order for it to function properly. So on the downhill site, what he will be using are what's called cribbing blocks. And they're basically very large Lincoln logs, if you will, that get stacked up so that they could raise the front end of the trailer relative to how it's sitting on the site at the high end, so that it is level before they pipe into the building with that. So although we tried very hard to pick a different location, there literally was no other location to put this trailer other than along the street here. Now, both trailers on both sites will have chain link fencing around them. Over at the middle school, the chain link fencing vertical support posts will be driven into the ground because that's a sloping site. Over at school number 8, they'll be on weighted bases because that's a level site. It's an asphalt drive surface right now. And then the piping from this trailer will be going into the window and louver opening of the current boiler room to go to where the boiler location piping is right now.
Will any child in the middle school have access? I mean, will the chain link fence cover the entire trailer?
The chain link fence will go around the entire perimeter of the trailer, and we have it specified at an 8-foot height. I'm going to go to
pipes, no exposed pipes.
the pipes are going to be exposed, but the pipes are going to be overhead as they come out of the trailer.
No shot to touch them or get
No, and then when they get over toward the building, then they'll go down and come in at certain entry points. I have 2 other exhibits here, which are the drawings that the contractors had bid on, and I'll do the same thing. I'll start out with school number 8. That's the easy one to understand. So essentially at school number 8, this is their main entrance, right, I'm sorry, it's right over here. And then off to the side, the building makes a notch, a jog like this. There's New Street over here, and then there's Union Avenue out at this side. So the trailer will be sitting here, the fencing will go all the way around the trailer. The piping that's coming out will go alongside the building here, and we also have 6-inch diameter concrete-filled bollards along with the fencing to make sure that the vehicles that the staff and the parents use don't come into contact with the pipes. And so that site we think is good because there's plenty of room over here for the cars to come around and actually continue to use the site the way that they currently use the site.
On the side, you're making this
On the side, what is the clearance between the pipe and the chain link fence?
The pipe and the chain link fence over here, that'll be about 18 inches.
18 inches.
Yeah, but then on the outside of the fence are the bollards. They're gonna be another 6 inches out.
I'm worried about the kids. What are the pipes
These,
covered with?
these pipes here will be low to the ground. I'm not aware right now that the pipes will be covered with anything. I think the pipes,
Typically, insulated metal sleeves.
so it's an insulated metal sleeve that will be over the pipe. Until it gets into the
Concerned
building.
about kids going in with sticks and hitting it to make a drum.
They won't be able to get in there because this is gonna be fenced in.
Chain link.
Correct.
You can put a broomstick through the chain link.
Yeah, but that won't do anything to a steel pipe.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. That won't do anything to a steel pipe.
What's the anticipated timeframe for the trailers to be here?
I'm sorry, can you repeat
What is
this?
the anticipated timeline for these trailers to be?
We're asking at the two schools, the middle school has no boiler capacity at all. Over at school number 8, one of the boilers can limp along, and it's going to be used basically as a backup reserve to the trailer boiler that's being put out on the site. And for that reason, because there is some capacity at this site, we're asking for the middle school site to come online on the 16th, and for school number 8 to come online on I think it's the 20th
Of October?
of this month, correct.
And stay
Actually,
there for how long?
It will end up being there through the heating season, but contractually, since these are rental boilers, we're saying a period of 6 months. That's
So the board is obligated to provide heat until May 15th. So the thought is that at that point, there's going to be enough disruption for the kids and the staff. May 15th, the temporaries go away, the new boilers will be on site, and we start installing them in June, so they're ready for September.
Since these are in proximity to houses, I'm only familiar with, I guess, boilers in normal schools, because I did have to become, as a, I worked in one where I understood what the switches were, not that I operated a boiler, but I understood certain things about them. What about the noise capacity of these boilers when they're on, as far as the outside
You want-
ones in relationship? Can I?
You already.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Typically, they're enclosed, these boilers, they're enclosed in a box. There is a fan though to keep the boiler temperature down. There's a slight pump, and the only thing that's coming out of this box, as Jake indicated, is the flue. So there's no noise.
Compared to what the normal conventional boilers that would be normally located in the pit or in the deep basement of the school, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
well, yeah, it's not that,
That's what I'm
no.
concerned about.
That's why they're in the box, so it's insulating that noise.
Now, they'll be on.
But there is a fan.
They'll be on.
That's where the home
They'll be
will
on
come
an
from.
automatic timer.
They'll be on as long as the building is requiring heat, because again,
Well, they go on timer.
right, because you can't drop, during the winter time, you don't want the temperature to drop in the rooms, because again, there's hot water and steam going through, even during off hours.
I understand,
So-
but usually when you have a clock timer at certain times, they'll fire up.
But
according to
they'll
the
fire
clock.
back on time, yeah, based on demand. The less demand, which is after the kids and staff are gone, the boiler's
You know,
working
with
less.
these newer systems, sometimes with some of these boilers, when they first do kick on, you do get a slight exhaust fume. What's going to happen?
That's true. But that's just gas burning off, and that may happen for a couple of hours.
What type
But
of
again,
fuel?
it's gonna be outside.
Natural gas or?
It's gonna be piped to the school's natural gas line, because the natural gas line is already there. So it's just being extended out, the 20 or so feet.
Is there, I guess there is a company already chosen to do this?
Yes.
And have they done this before? What's their experience?
Yeah, it's Paul Vanderbeck's company who has been servicing the boilers at the school district.
And he's had experience with temporary trailers? like
Temporary
this?
boilers, yeah.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we've had to do this before, this is not.
Yeah, I understand this
Yeah.
is, it has to be done.
Yeah, and when you look at when the state comes out and do it, it really puts some boards in a bad position. This really should come out in May, June, and that may not even be helpful. When you come out the end of August, and school's gonna start in 2 weeks, it's a heck of a time to tell a district, you're not gonna let you fire up the boiler.
From my own curiosity, about the cribbing. Is there a footing or some type of footing? I mean,
No,
just
there's
right
no
on
footing.
grade?
Yeah, they level off that part, and you've
There's
probably
no,
seen it, when you see it go in, you'll say, oh,
Yeah, I'm
I've
just
seen
worried
that
about,
before.
you know.
It's an engineered system.
Yeah,
But that's why, but the engineer, that's required of the trailer company,
Yeah.
so
It's on
a
grade.
shop drawing will be.
It's on grade,
submitted.
It's
yeah.
on grade.
Essentially, the
Yeah.
cribbing is taking logs,
Yeah, I'm
but not
familiar.
wood logs. Okay, you're familiar with them. And they're basically setting up a square frame, and as they stack them, they just keep loading up. So if they have that balanced out on the soil, then all they're doing is
Well,
just
that's the question, because it's gonna be on the soil. The
Yeah.
soil's not really that,
But again, it's one
Yeah.
winter, so you're not going through a lot of
Yeah.
deep thaw freeze, so, you know, you're gonna go through one thaw,
I
but by
was
the
just
time
curious
May
if he was
comes.
going below grade with it out of my own curiosity. I'm a excavation contractor.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering if something of that size, with some vibration,
It's
required
almost,
something more
yeah.
than just a
Yeah.
surface cribbing. But I
when
guess
you
that's
look at
not-
portable trailers, even those portable trailers that are used for classrooms, those are dry laid blocks.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Is
so,
it-
and again, because it's a short-term, it's solution, long-term solution, then obviously we want, you know, you drive in some footings, you tie it down,
Right.
you anchor it.
footings and foundation.
Is it recommended that a custodian with a boiler license be on site
There
24
is one.
hours?
Well, I can speak to
Well,
that. I know from the contract documents that we required that that on the boiler rentals, that there be the maintenance service for them for the duration, for the 6 months.
That's part of the contract.
As part of the contract, from the boiler rental company. In addition to that, the custodians will have to do some minor work that they will be trained on by Paul Vanderbeck's company. And then Paul Vanderbeck, servicing the school district on all of their boilers, is available also to come for any kinds of conditions that could possibly come up. So there's almost, in that instance, there's a double redundancy of the professionals that were hired, and then there's a triple redundancy with the existing staff that's on site.
So a black seal would or wouldn't be required?
Black seal gas, not high pressure.
Getting back to my question. I just said to the chairman, we're familiar with the cribbing, I'm familiar with it because of what I do. Most people would be familiar with it because of the houses that were jacked up down South Jersey. In the same respect, I don't
Correct.
want my kids walking alongside one of those houses.
Mhm.
So that's why my curiosity about whether on this one particular property, because it is going to be up on the cribbing, how high is the cribbing? How steep? This grade is pretty steep there,
You're probably looking at about 4 to 5 feet.
about 5 feet.
Because-
And again, it has to be engineered. I mean, they have to submit an engineered shop drawing to us. Now, again,
Because if
it's
the
like.
cribbing, if, obviously, if the cribbing fails, the unit's gonna
It's-
roll over,
Yeah.
potentially
It's
fall over.
more drop. The roll, I mean, the cribbing is to stop it from turning, right?
Right.
Because it's connected to, it's tied down. It's tied down to the trailer in the front on the chassis. The back end is really where the cribbing is. So it's more of, does the unit do that?
Right.
More than doing that.
Because
Because
it doesn't
again,
have
the
that
cribbing,
much, does it have a lot of vibration in the unit?
no, very little. It's really the thing, and the thing you're gonna see most is that you're gonna hear this like fan noise.
Mhm.
And it's, yeah, it's low volume, but again, it's to keep the boiler cool.
So it's not gonna fall over.
No, again, we've done this.
Mr. Harris, who's gonna oversee this? Are you gonna oversee this project too, or no?
Yeah, we take it, we take it.
It's since on middle school on Home Street, there isn't a lot of footage from the sidewalk area to the building itself.
Right.
So where is that fence?
It's just off the sidewalk.
Just off the sidewalk.
Yeah, I have the exhibit right here that's up, that deals with the middle school. And just to orient you, this is Home Street here. This is the sidewalk, walking along Home Street. This is the lower addition, this is the upper addition. That's the upper, I'm sorry, the original building. This is the original building entranceway, and this is the addition entranceway that's over here. We chose to move the trailer closer to the lower side, and that's because the grades flatten out more at that location, so we pushed this down. This diagram is showing a 45-foot long trailer, but Paul Vanderbeck has a very good shot at getting a 40-foot long trailer. So it'll be 5 feet shorter about here, on the plan. And so there'll be less cribbing blocks involved because it'll be further on down where the hill starts to flatten out a little more, rather than being as steep. But we would be putting the fence posts right along the sidewalk line, 6 inches off of the sidewalk line, then another 1'6" to the trailer, and then the spacing's a little bigger on the backside. And then the pipe run will go directly into the boiler room, which is here. And there's actually a depressed area in front of the boiler room, which is called an areaway, with a short staircase that goes directly into the boiler room. So the access to getting to this trailer and the convenience of that is just as good as it is in school number 8. The only thing here is that the trailer is at the street instead of it being around the corner.
I'm sure someone checked the BTUs, these units are sufficient.
Yeah, we got this fully engineered.
Mechanical engineer.
Especially after the winter we had last year, we get 0 and single-digit temperatures for a long time. This is sufficient heat.
Yeah.
Jerry?
When this project is done and the trailers are being ready to be removed, now all the fencing and the footings will also be removed at the same time?
Yeah, there actually, I don't believe that there will be footings, because with the fence posts, what they can do with a hydraulic system, they can hammer the posts into the ground. And if they hammer the posts into the ground 3 feet, you won't even need a footing.
Right, but those posts will be removed,
Oh, yeah.
and the 7 mature shrubs that are being taken out will be replaced.
Yeah, the district is going to remove them, and the district will replace them, because the shrubs are about this high, they're around 30 inches or lower in height.
They'll be replaced with the same maturity?
I would assume that you can get something pretty close to that anyways. The district will be purchasing it. And then reseeding the whole area.
Anybody else?
Whatever it is,
Yeah, Tom, but there's not a vote for us, right? It's just a courtesy review, and I think you guys presented a good case, and good luck, and I just hope, you know, it seems like an unsafe situation, and you guys make it as safe as
Again,
we
we'll work with
possibly
that,
can.
I mean, again, because we understand, and we need it, and like I said, unfortunately, we've had to do this a couple of times, so.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your condition works great, buddy.
Too great.
First thing in the morning.
Someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We want to get one of them temporary boilers here.